who are new to my channel, my name is Kristina J, and I'm a life purpose, confidence, and happiness life coach. I have created this YouTube channel in hopes to help hurting women to learn more about healthy and not healthy relationship, about different forms of abuse, find the way out, heal, get back their power, confidence, and courage without feeling guilty, and embrace their true happiness in finding their unique life's purpose. Today we will talk about narcissism and most common symptoms that the narcissists demonstrate. In Greek mythology, Narcissus was a hunter that found himself to be so beautiful and attractive that he became fixated by his own reflection in a pool. Such was his fixation that he lost the will to do anything else, was just staring at himself, and he died as a result. The story of Narcissus has inspired the name for a personality disorder known as narcissism. Generally speaking, a narcissist will have an exaggerated sense of self-importance. I will talk about some of the most common symptoms that narcissists demonstrate. These personality traits will help you to identify whether you are currently with a narcissist in your relationship, or will empower you to notice the red flags in your future relationships to avoid getting involved with such personalities. Most of the narcissistic personality symptoms I share today will be from my favorite author, person who knows all about narcissism, Dr. RAMANI, and her book, Should I Stay or Should I Go? Surviving a Relationship with a Narcissist, and some other authors that talk about narcissism. These are common symptoms that a narcissist demonstrates, and I will list 15 of those symptoms or those signs. So number one is constant need to be admired. A narcissist needs constant admiration. He thinks he is the best. He knows everything the best. He has everything the best. And therefore, everyone should praise him and admire him. The best feeling for them is to feel as if they are sitting on the throne and their followers constantly praise them. Admiration and validation is a core motivating factor for the narcissist. They need the admiration of the outside world to survive. Without it, their lives feel empty. As Dr. RAMANI says, validation is the air supply necessary to keep their fragile egos alive. Number two is grandiosity. A narcissist tends to exaggerate accomplishments, talents, connections with others, and experiences. They have a big sense of self-importance, a belief that their existence is bigger and more important than anyone else's, and more important than yours too. Narcissists can be successful, and if that is the case, they will repeatedly boast about their accomplishments, their many possessions they have, and their experiences. Going to their homes and listening to them talk can feel like a game of show and tell. Look at my house, look at my car, look at my dog, look at my great projects, look at my hobby equipment, look at my wife, look at my accomplishments, and the list can go on and on and on. They are also dreamers, and they always have the next big idea, the next new project. They know the right people, therefore they will jump into the next business, next big deal, next hobby, next big fantasy. Number three, lack of empathy. It is the key defining characteristic of the narcissistic person. They cannot identify with or recognize the experiences and feelings of other people. Narcissists actually do not care how other people feel. They can say very cruel things and do not have a second thought that they hurt that person actually. If they are not feeling something, that means it is not happening, or it doesn't matter, because all is just about them. It is not about others. You can be crying in the corner of your room, all curled up in the ball because of their actions or cruel words, and they will not come up to you. They will not try to talk to you, to apologize to you, to calm you down. No, that is not happening with a narcissist. If you constantly experience the lack of empathy in your relationship, you will start feeling unseen and unheard and untouched. It feels like you exist when you are just being useful to a narcissist. Number 4, lack of guilt, lack of insight. In general, most people feel bad when they do something wrong or hurtful. However, a narcissist can hurt you badly, but usually does not feel guilty about it at all. A narcissist lacks insight into the hurt caused by his words and actions. It is not likely that there will be an expression of guilt or the apology from their side. They might say, "I'm sorry," but you feel that it was so superficial and that they actually did not mean it. They do not observe the impact of their behavior on others. They have little empathy for how others feel. Number 5, their opinion is the most important. What you have to say, it is not important. Instead of listening and being involved in a healthy discussion, a narcissist will steal the show. They treat all the conversations as a platform to present their ideas only. They think just their ideas are the only ones worth listening. What others have to say, it is not important. It is not true. It is not valid. Therefore, always need to be corrected by a narcissist. Basically, what you have to say, it is not important at all. But what they have to say, it is of the uttermost important and super valid. Number 6, they belittle others. Narcissists believe that they are the best, the greatest, the brightest. If they are aware that the other person actually is better at something than they are, that makes them sick to the stomach. In their eyes, that is not fair. I am the best after all. Somehow a narcissist will make that person feel that he is below him. They also try to be dismissive about other people's accomplishments. If he did something important or achieved something, it is worth the praise. And you should be talking about that all day or week. But if you accomplish something or your family member and you are so proud about it, whether it is a small thing or a big thing related to the career, to your degree, to the salary raise at work, in their eyes, that is nothing, not even worth mentioning. They might say something like, "That's good," or "Good for you," but will not show admiration, will not have heart-to-heart conversation or celebration with you about it. It can happen that instead they will belittle yours or others' accomplishments. Number 7, greed and self-centeredness. Narcissists are often over-focused on money and resources because in our culture, money communicates status, power, access, and validation, and that is what a self-centered, prideful narcissist needs. Money is the fuel that fills the narcissist's engine. More money means more entitlement. Greed and entitlement are often closely aligned. The narcissist is usually so preoccupied with a single-minded campaign to acquire more high-status possessions and with his materialistic pursuits that usually you feel that you are just also one of his possessions, one of his trophies on the shelf, nothing else. You never ask for a huge house or brand new vehicles or luxurious holidays, more and more money. Instead, you ask for time spent together, for mutual connection, for being there for you during hard times, for his time investment with you and your kids. but he was always so busy with acquiring more and more material things. And then when you ask some other things, he's like, how dare you not to be happy about what I'm giving to you? Number 8, emotional coldness. That is the other symptom of narcissism. Narcissists are very shallow with their emotions. As we talked earlier, they lack empathy and they are emotionally cold. Emotional coldness can be unsettling. It is very hard to live with such a person, especially during a time of need. To be with an emotionally cold partner means not being comforted, sometimes during the most difficult times in our lives, and that is very painful. Number 9, they never take responsibility. Narcissists do not take responsibility for anything. They try to avoid the blame. They make complex excuses. It is never their fault. When someone never takes responsibility for anything, whether these are words, actions, or feelings, it is very challenging to maintain a healthy relationship. If you want to call out the narcissistic partner on his behavior, he will somehow make you feel guilty that you brought up the matter. They use denial as their defense. Genuine acceptance of responsibility is very unlikely to be issued by a narcissistic partner. It is never his fault. He was late to the supper because the traffic was bad. He forgot to pay the bills. It is because you did not remind him. He did not show up for your child's hockey game. He had to work longer hours. He forgot your anniversary. It was a busy day. He cheated on you. You were a cold sexual partner. He lost his job. The boss was a jerk, and so on and so forth. You can wear yourself out by waiting for a narcissistic person to take responsibility for his or her words or actions. Number 10, narcissistic people take advantage or exploit others on a regular basis without guilt or shame. Narcissists can manipulate people to fulfill their own needs. They care about their external needs a lot, and they will use other people as objects to get those needs met. In the narcissist world, other people often do serve as objects, a tool to get a job done. As a narcissist's partner, you are the ultimate object existing to serve his needs. You might feel that you are valued when you are functional. Other times, you are not needed. You can feel that a partner is extra nice when he needs something, but nasty and indifferent when he does not. If you're not playing according to his game's rules, if he cannot get from you what he thinks is entitled to, he can get very upset about it and even angry at you. How dare you not to do what you are supposed to do? What else are you needed for? You are there just to meet his needs, period. You are his narcissistic supply. If he cannot take advantage of you or exploit you, soon you will be out of the picture, and he will find other person who could be taken advantage of and be a good source of a narcissistic supply. Number 11, infidelity, unfaithfulness. A significant proportion of narcissists engage in relationship infidelity. Infidelity can take different forms and is most often either sexual or emotional. This can manifest itself as a romantic relationship outside the marriage, or deep emotional connection, or just a one-night stand, or multiple one-night stands. Narcissists' lack of empathy, the entitlement, the grandiosity, and the constant need to get their desires met often culminate in affairs. Their need for admiration and novelty is so big that unfortunately they are wired to be unfaithful to their partners. Because they lack empathy, they cannot comprehend, as a healthy person would, that his unfaithfulness causes you tremendous pain. If you call them out and you say that you are aware that they were cheating on you, usually they are not too regretful. Instead, they will blame you, will make it look as if it was your fault, saying something like, "It's because you were not there for me," or "It's because you were so cold to me," or "It's because our relationship was not very good at that time, so it's never their fault." Number 12, carelessness. Narcissists do not care. They often hurt people through their carelessness. They can neglect you in different areas. Little things like messages unanswered, questions left unaddressed, problems left not solved, or simply not noticing you. These old things can build up over time. A mindful person looks ahead and considers how his behavior may impact someone else. If he made a mistake, he would apologize and try not to repeat it and learns from his or her mistakes. But that is not the case with a narcissist. He can care less about what he did or didn't do. Neglect can be very painful, and relationships require mindfulness. But carelessness can slowly erode the soul of relationship. Number 13, poor boundaries. Boundaries are part of trust, respect, and values within healthy relationships. But narcissists have very poor boundaries. They maintain their relationships to get their needs met, and will very often cross a line and violate boundary because it makes them feel good at that moment, and after all, they need to be in control. Why should they care about your or other boundaries? Are they not the most important figure in the room? They lack empathy, and they do not even pause to reflect how them crossing your boundary made you feel as a partner, nor do they reflect on how they may be treating others around you. Number 14, anger and rage. Almost without exception, rage is part of narcissistic behavior. Whether it is physical violence, yelling, throwing objects, slamming doors, swearing, threatening, or storming out of the house, is present in your relationship if you are living with a narcissist. For people who are narcissists, rage is often a manifestation of internal frustration. And usually their anger explodes very sudden, and it can catch you off guard and feel very threatening. You do not want to trigger narcissist anger. That is why you try to avoid it. And you start walking on eggshells, becoming anxious and fearful about talking to him about anything. Number 15, it is manipulation. Manipulation is a major weapon in the narcissist arsenal. Narcissists are masterful of twisting the situation and working the rules to get what they want. They might turn things around in such a way that you may ultimately give them what they want. Narcissists are masters at getting what they want. And because they have no empathy, they may not care what it costs someone else. They use manipulation as a tool to get their most essential needs met, which are attention, status, and validation. Nothing and nobody will get in their way. Other signs that the person you are dealing with might be a narcissist are dishonesty, hypersensitivity, jealousy, controlling attitude, gaslighting, unpredictability, seductiveness, and more. The more traits he or she has, the more challenging it is to maintain a healthy relationship. We are all guilty of some of these things sometimes, but if most of these character traits are demonstrated frequently and there is a pattern to that, there is a greater chance that you are dealing with a narcissistic personality in your relationship. And these types of relationships are very complex, are toxic and abusive. Next time, we will be looking into some strategies to use while dealing with a narcissistic person. Well, for today, thank you for watching. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, which will help it grow, and also check my previous videos on emotional abuse and trauma bond. Stay strong, courageous, stand up for what is right, and take good care of yourself. See you next time, and bye for now.